about to get into Agatha All Along, episode 7, Death's Hand in Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into it, y'all blew up on episode 6.
Everything.
Specifically, I got called out.
That was insane. Like, it was long. Like, they written short story content on it.
Yeah. And you know what I'm going to say? Love y'all for commenting.
Yes.
I genuinely want y'all to enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. And nothing that I say should take your joy away from the show. That being said, this show is introducing material. I got every right to question it, and I'm going to do it as much as I damn well please.
Facts.
I don't give a damn how many reactions you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a how many people you talk about.
Tell them.
They introduced the material to me. I'm going to get to question it as much as I want. Just like y'all can choose to enjoy things, even if someone points out that it might be dumb. Because guess what? I'll be the first one to tell you. All of fiction is stupid. Nothing of it is above reproach.
It's all made up.
Earlier tonight, I told everyone on this couch how much I love Spider-Man. And if you think that means that I don't point out that Spider-Man does some dumb shit, you got another thing coming. Just because they don't choose to talk about this, just because, well, this is the first time we see it, just because they powerful in other ways, why can't they be like this? Because the show needs to align this for me. That's why it's my opinion. I love talking about it with y'all, but I genuinely don't give a fuck. And I'm not changing my tune for you. I just want to sing along with you.
Yep.
So as long as we're having fun, great.
That's all that matters.
When y'all get to the point where you start talking out your neck,
At the side of your neck.
I'm going to make this clear to you. If the people on this couch can't stop me from talking,
What makes you think y'all can stop?
Because we for sure can't.
now, to clarify, last week, we as a group talked about the sigil. Mm-hmm. I went on a little rant that I'll say that I was the one that ranted. I know that more talked about it, but I was the one that ranted.
You make good points, though.
Yeah.
About the sigil thing not making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all pointed out that the sigil, reminding us that the sigil works on all witches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we all pretty much knew that from the past couple of episodes.
Well, yeah, but we also ignored the fact, because we did ask, like, why wasn't Wanda able to censor it? And it's just like, well, she wasn't able to censor it because it works on all witches,
That's true.
including Wanda.
But that's a question we asked.
So,
Okay.
fair.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all brought up some other stuff about looking at it from a different perspective. Because I just questioned Billy's intentions, since he's focusing on Tommy. I'm just like, okay, I hope that we continue to get that. Here's where we part ways. This Hex situation and Tommy and Billy having a soul. Y'all are inferring a lot. The show ain't no show done said that these souls were real ever.
Yeah.
Y'all deciding some shit for your own lives. And I understand why you're doing it, because it's streamlined. Y'all are like, the comic origin is way, way more convoluted. That don't mean it's good, but I understand where you're coming from. You're happy to see Wiccan on a screen. Cool. It don't make sense based off of what they presented. But to throw y'all a lifeline, they've name dropped Mephisto, who people were randomly saying was a part of WandaVision since episode 1 of that show. If y'all want to meet in the middle and say, maybe something's going on where Billy's soul was planted so that it could be taken advantage of later. I can buy that.
Yeah, I can buy that too. It sounds like a good reason.
How Billy, since y'all want to say that he has a soul, how Billy loses his soul, loses his body, and his soul just has the power to find another body all on its own when he was barely not like doing magic in WandaVision. Just up and deciding, but Wanda can't find these kids. Y'all doing a circus level of tricks to get to a conclusion just because Marvel telling y'all some stuff. But if that's where you want to sit, hey, look, I'm fine. Just, you can't tell me that it's not dumb. This is some excessive shit. That's a lot. That's a huge pill to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
Since a lot of people have very interesting outlooks on everything, I did end up having a question that I cannot come up with a reason for.
Okay.
How does the sigil know who is and isn't a witch when anybody can be trained to become a witch?
Yeah. As established in this show.
Yes.
Right.
And then
Yes.
following up, right? Why does the sigil work on Agatha when she lost her power in the beginning of the show
So what?
and should have just been a regular person?
Yeah.
Now, y'all talking about me poking holes in your show. That's a big glaring plot hole right fucking there. That's how a plot hole works. Last week, I wasn't talking about this.
Yep.
Notice how I ain't bringing up. I was talking about my opinions. But since y'all want to talk about me bringing up plot holes, explain that shit. That's an example of a plot hole for you.
I hope y'all are happy y'all woke up the writer dragon.
I guess because, like Blackfire mentioned, anyone has the potential to be a witch. Agatha still technically has the potential to be a witch, even though she lost her power.
But it didn't work on the boyfriend.
That is true. That is true. It did not work on the boyfriend.
Didn't.
So what defines the ability to become a witch?
I guess if you're introduced to the lifestyle, have knowledge of the lifestyle, been practicing, or a practitioner.
Sure.
Basically
I'm
saying,
throwing out little
you
breadcrumbs here.
You know
baby.
what? And that's why I like talking to you. Do you want to know why? Because that's an assumption,
Yeah.
an inference, if you will.
Yeah.
None of what you said is fact.
No, it's not.
Not because I disagree with it, because it's not proven.
Right.
Now, if you were to tell me that's absolutely how it works, I would be like, there ain't no way in hell. How? Like, why do you know that? Which is why, to make this clear to y'all, when I talk about stuff, I am not doing what the traditional person on the internet does and saying that my perspective is fact. I'm legitimately asking.
Yeah.
Because if y'all offer a perspective that makes things make sense, I'll run with it until we get to the end, and then it, like, nothing agrees with what you said. Then
Right,
it's just like,
Like,
okay,
we have questions, we want answers, we have opinions, nothing is right or wrong. We just
I'm theorizing based off my own knowledge.
Right, exactly. And based off of our knowledge of this show that we've been watching, we're on episode 7 right now, about to watch episode 7. We just want to know the factual information so we know that we have the right information. I mean,
and sometimes we forget things, like the whole sigil thing, like going off on Wanda.
Yeah.
Last week it was just like, I forgot.
Yeah.
We literally all said it in the reaction last week, and then forgot it when brought up to that. That happens. People slip up. But hey, look, if y'all gonna talk, like you doubling down on some shit, y'all, somebody cite your goddamn sources.
They said they 10 toes down.
Yes.
They are all in.
Like, they're 10 toes down on this soul thing, but then nobody wants to talk about, well, okay, if that's the case, and these kids now have souls, when Wanda made herself pregnant by accident, because she didn't even realize she made herself pregnant in the house.
It just happened.
Like, Vision points it out, and then she realizes it, and then she goes through birth and labor.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then 2 questions come up for y'all. She made Hex Vision in the whole thing. Where's his soul at? And Billy's soul was protected by the sigil. How come she can't sense Tommy's soul?
And those, yeah.
Since it's equally out there.
Right, exactly. How come she can't
Fair
sense
question.
Tommy? Yeah.
See, these are things that I just like talking to y'all about.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't ruin the show. But if you talk to people, it's like, I'm not allowed to ask these questions. Just know, I'm going to put you in a box in my brain.
But this is what it means
And
to
you're
be...
never getting out the box.
This is what it means to be like a Marvel fan, you know, or just a fan in general. Like, we question, we theorize, and we want to know how certain things
That's
work.
the fun.
Because there are different arcs, there are different storylines to follow. Everyone has different capabilities. We just want to know. You know, that's basically it. And we do it mostly for fun, mostly because we're following the comics for those of us who are deep within the comics. But for those of us who aren't, we're just having fun with it, you know? And that's all this is. We're watching the show, having fun, talking to you guys, bouncing off ideas, theories, and we enjoy the conversation. That's basically all we're here for.
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope y'all are having fun. If not, hey, look, don't blame me. You decide your own enjoyment
To
in
the
life.
left, to the left. The door's right over there. To the
No,
left.
because
To the left.
hey, look, no, I'm not going to push them away. They're allowed to stay. It's them telling me that I have to leave.
Sorry.
Where I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, you made a mistake. You're trapped in here with me, not the other way around.
Right?
Yeah.
Shoot, not bite, mother. Anyway, let's get into episode 7, Death's Hand in Mind. Let's cue this intro. If you're checking this out on YouTube and Twitch, well, actually, if you're checking this out on Twitch, you got to sync up with your own copy. We're watching it on Disney Plus, as is everybody else, hopefully. If you're checking this out on YouTube, you're going to see a highlight reel of all of our reactions, questions, comments, concerns in real time in relation to the video. I got the subtitles ready, so let's get into episode 7, Death's Hand in Mind, Agatha All Along.
Not trying to catch a case.
Those remaining stuff in the hand, here, don't. She falling. She hallucinating.
Oh, freak. Dang, she's in a get out situation.
Someone had that teacup.
Star.
Click, click.
Star.
Alright, we have Teen, Billy, and Agatha walking along the road. And she's still covered in whatever that gunk is. I feel like Agatha puts on a front the majority of the time, and then other times, you know, she shows her real self.
Someone brought that up in the comments over the last week where they feel like,
Hey.
Look at the Disney villains. They got your Maleficent.
Reporter JT here. How does this make you feel?
For those who need a little bit of context, Trey's favorite villain is Maleficent.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when they tried to make her like a hero with the movies that they came out with Angelina Jolie, he was not a fan.
No, Trey.
Okay.
Not a fan, not a fan, not a fan, not a fan.
ooh, ooh. It's like the show is clapping back at me.
It's like, you gonna take that for what you said last week.
I get it. I'll let it ride.
Oh. Oh my.
Came from the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh.
This is the movie 300.
That's escape.
What is your
It's
profession?
escape room. That's what that is.
So it's basically.
And there she is trying to cheat her way through another trial.
Oh. Damn.
Oh, that was the killer right there.
Your turn is going great. This isn't numbers game. You keep out till you get the right cards in the right spots when the ceiling runs out of swords. I'm not sure how much math you did back in Salem, but that will take forever.
We still have time.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they didn't realize the heart of the cards.
Y'all ain't got no time right
Y'all
now.
got no time. Not only do the swords fall, the ceiling moves.
Am I crispy or am I cooking? Alice, don't try to save Agatha.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I like that. That was a good interpretation of like vision or seer powers, oracle divinations, whatever. However you want to put it, all the same shit.
You look at me and you see some doddering old broad. Well, tell me what more I should see when I look at you.
Well, dang, maybe a little more than that.
Right?
Facts. You know that she's seeing things.
To experience your life out of sequence, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Gosh.
gosh.
First you're like a young kid to an adult to a teen to a young kid.
They keep jumping. Oh.
Are you Glinda? I saw you, Glinda.
Oh.
Ah. You said his full name.
Okay.
So the spell was fully broken.
Calling her door is disrespectful. Dang.
Because it's terrifying.
It's not even. Well, okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's mostly inconvenient, to be honest with you. I feel crazy.
I mean, yeah. I would feel crazy.
Like the way that it works for her, I would. Nah, that would be insane.
And to not necessarily remember what you just did or said, because you're living life out of order.
You did your best.
Holy no.
Oh.
Oh.
It's stolen.
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like this episode is really more thought out and established and, you know, done
There's
great
questions.
as far as like her shifts between all of her different points in her life.
Seven was like, what's good?
What's good?
We underground.
They moving
Straight from
formation.
the underground.
I wonder how
In
everyone
Greenville
likes
City.
them as villains. Y'all enjoying them?
I mean, they're
Are they
creepy.
contributing a lot to the story?
They're creepy.
From that first
Not-
episode.
They're a creepy
much.
insert, but they like come and go.
Yeah.
That second episode.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Oh yeah, somebody pointed out that well, they say that they think that the Black Heart was reminiscent of Teen,
Gotcha.
and then also pointed out that Teen had a black heart that he sent to his boyfriend when they were texting,
Mm-hmm.
and that was supposed to be like the clue for that. I don't know if I entirely buy into the theory, but I get it. I get it.
I thought of Rio.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was Rio too.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it has to be Rio now because they pulled in the Green Witch, which was the one that they were missing, and it was Rio that filled the spot. So that's why I don't believe the theory, but I thought it was cute.
Each
somebody...
one of them is a tarot.
Yeah.
Mhm. What's all this then? Oh.
Yo, she look crazy.
So Rio's Mistress Death?
What it looks like.
That
Okay.
Vonell too.
yeah.
Whatever comes through that.
Right?
That's an R.
Yeah.
Death.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't lying.
We about to get
That's
some self-sacrifice.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that everybody keeps dying.
Mm.
Oh shit!
Upside down. Bound
And she said she was
falling.
falling.
Mm-hmm.
And that ceiling has swords, my lord.
Yeah.
So they all about to hit it. Maybe.
No, come on.
Yeah, she died.
She said she was falling.
I know, but I still
She-
don't want.
She figured it out.
Mhm.
She solved it.
Mm.
She's
Dang.
dying happy, I guess.
She accepted her fate, her life.
Dang.
Mm. That was a good episode.
That was.
It was
I think
a
that's my
very
favorite
good
episode.
Mhm. I
I-
kind of wish the other ones were like this.
Dang.
You know?
I'm happy that, like, I understand the character's motivation
Yeah.
for putting the sigil, because that was my biggest question last week.
Mhm. As far as like, why did she do it? Because she
Yeah.
said she knew he would need time to come to terms with everything.
Yeah.
Because, it's probably really traumatizing to realize, oh, you were alive one moment, you're alive again, but the soul that was in this body is not anymore. Oh, that's some deep feels.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what are everyone's thoughts?
I like it. I would say that this probably is my favorite because one of the complaints that I had with the external members of the Coven was that I didn't really get a lot of their personality. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the previous trials, even though they were all focused on a specific character, this is the one that actually gave the most about the character's personality.
Right.
And like more than just like their drive. This is like who she was.
Yeah.
And I get how the magic that she uses actually speaks to her as a person. Whereas the others, like when we did Jen's trial, Agatha's trial, and Alice's trial, I was just like,
It's okay.
Like, those were more about what they could do or what they wanted. This one was about who she really is.
Yeah, her deep connection.
I really like that and appreciate that. Because now I appreciate her a lot more.
Yep.
And I still don't have that type of appreciation for Jen.
No.
In contrast,
No, I don't. Like, I have that sort of kind of connection for Alice, but only because she just got rid of her curse and then she died. I'm just like, well, dang, that wasn't fair at all.
I don't know if I really care about Alice as a person or if I'm just like, okay, your curse was gone. Now we get to see what you're like without it.
Right.
Like, you got your, what's it called?
Character development.
Where, like, you talk with somebody and, like, you like gain like an understanding between each other. That's the word. It starts with C. I can't know. Y'all just throwing out C.
My bad.
Comedy.
No.
Conversation. No.
Y'all throwing out every.
Cocky vibe.
Gosh.
Sit down.
I am sitting.
All the way over there.
Damn.
No.
But
I don't fit over
Yeah.
there.
But yeah, like you're saying, we would have gotten more of Alice if they had decided not to kill her off. Like, we could have seen more of her personality, who she was as a character, without the whole curse thing on her and her ability for her powers. But we didn't get any of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the opposite camp. Surprise. Where I don't mind the deaths because I don't think the characters need to be here based off what they were already doing. But if they're going to go out, they should have gone out like Lillia just did, where we get more of an appreciation for the character, not just like a story beat.
Yeah.
Like, I actually care about the journey that she was taking in this, and it had nothing to do with everything else.
That's true.
I agree.
And I'm glad that she got rid of it looked like she got rid of the whole of the Salem 7 because they ain't doing a goddamn thing in this story.
No, they aren't.
All they're doing
So
is showing their
she gets
presence.
extra points for me for taking out a plot line that really don't mean a damn thing that they didn't have to add.
Yeah, they really didn't have to add it.
I have a feeling that they're not actually dead. They're just going to be slowed down.
Sure.
Hey, I mean, it did its point, but all they are is for just trying to be for fear presence, and you really didn't get that in these last couple of episodes. They've just been dragging. For Lillia itself, the reason why I like this is that she overcame what was really just bugging her as a whole, where her losing her memory but also tying in while she still had the chance to. You got a chance to see the level dimension of what her powers is, but it also takes back to her learning roots. And from it, at this point, it's just really for her at peace with it, that she can remember everything to get them to safety, but also to give them amount of time. We now know the situation with Rio, and it deals with the tarot cards. And it's just kind of, for her, just kind of going back to the basics on what she was learning. But I just like the detail on how each thing they plugged in piece by piece, where you can pick up what she was thinking, but also seeing at that point in time. And up to Jen, glad she did stay with her, because at that point she probably would have went somewhere where she would be stuck.
Yeah, she probably would have went off, and she saw the subway and she thought it was an exit. It probably wasn't really an exit.
Right.
You know, the trial doesn't do that.
And for her to find her way there at the same time, just getting that memory, but also stalling enough time for Billy, and
Or
for
Willie.
that, they're right. And then just taking that time for it, it would just build up to it where there was a level getting to that point. But I'm glad that she was able to face it. And maybe the next episode or so start to see more like growth within it. But I think this is by far their best episode.
Yeah, it's well written out. It's well thought out as far as like displaying what her power is as a seer, and how she's able to jump between different life points. Like, I would be freaked out and screaming at random times too. If one moment I'm dying, the swords are flying at me, and the next moment I'm standing in front of somebody who's looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, you didn't see what I just saw. But I'm glad she was able to piece together what needed to happen, what she needed to tell them, what it all meant. So, you know, she wasn't crazy. It was just how her abilities had worked. And while unfortunately she didn't really control it towards the end, she just pieced together everything. It was a great look as to her character, and how she was as like a support for the other characters too. So I'm sorry to see her go, because I did like Lillia.
But I think she had like a nice send off, where
It was a nice send off.
all her skill sets was under display, where you could see what she's capable of, and you can see why she's definitely one of those like OG witches that knows her stuff, but just for the downside of like forgetting. But with her remembering, like, that's a very phenomenal skill. I'm glad Agatha didn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
Really? That'd be crazy? It would have been so crazy. But yeah, I do wish some of the other episodes were kind of written out like this. Like, I would have liked to see Alice's trial a little bit more different. Like, I like the touch that they did as far as like connecting it with her mom and the curse, but like they didn't really explain where the curse came from, who placed it on them, you know. It was just kind of like a generational curse that just kind of followed them around. She didn't really dive into specifics too much. And then with Jen's trial, her putting together that potion, I kind of wanted her to be more in tune. I thought they would be more in tune, but she looked like she was just throwing everything in.
It felt like hers is like
Kitchen
the
sink.
one that didn't have enough
Oomph.
to it,
Yeah,
I
it didn't
guess.
have enough oomph to it. It really didn't. But now it's just Jen, Agatha, and Billy. And Rio's out there somewhere plotting maybe one or all of their demise. Since she is death. You know, that's what Lillia had pointed out. She's death. So we'll probably get to see what that means. So they said episodes 8 and 9 will be released on Halloween together.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we'll get
double
it'll be a double feature.
That'll be cool.
So next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday double
fun.
feature. So in addition to that, along with whatever short films we pick out, we just have to be mindful.
Yep.
the time.
The time.
Yeah.
Because if this is going to be the 2 that they're releasing, I think it's at a special time for it. And yeah, it'd be a nice Thursday coming up.
Also,
emotional.
good release schedule on your part, Marvel, because you dropped 1 and 2 at the same time too.
Yep, they sure
So,
did.
Having 1 and 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 and 9. Yeah, that's
Good job.
Good
better
spooky
release schedule than the weeks that y'all have been pacing stuff out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have complained that like the endings for the Marvel TV shows hasn't really been like hitting the way that they want it to.
Yeah.
So, experimenting with how you guys are releasing it.
And how you're
Good
ending
point.
the
Yeah.
shows and everything with the double feature. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Way to use that left side of the brain, Marvel.
I love that.
I feel like the fact that he asked am I Billy or
William.
William?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, in my opinion, strengthens the theory that I had that maybe he's both.
Yeah.
To represent the two sides of his character from the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested in what the answer would have been or is, and I hope that's presented.
Yes.
Yeah. Did anyone see any plot holes in this? Any questions? I just want to go ahead and get this out the way.
It's not a plot hole. I'm just, like I said, I'm hopeful. Blackfire might be right, and they might come back, but I'm glad that they tied up the Salem 7.
Yeah.
That plot line is doing nothing for this show.
Yeah,
No,
it was
it's
just,
not. It's just a threat that's there for going after Agatha. But even if you remove the Salem 7, they're not there. The story still works
Because they still have to do all the same things that they were already doing anyway.
Yeah.
Rio being deaf is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one I didn't expect.
Yeah, what do y'all think about Rio being deaf? Like, what do you think is going to happen
I knew
in
she was
episodes
evil.
8 and 9?
I don't know. I
Death
guess
is not
because of
evil.
just
I knew she
her
was
being how, like, I don't know. It was something she did in one of the episodes where I was like, that looked dead like, but just with her just outfits and stuff like that, it's kind of lingered that, but without it necessarily saying it.
Well, Lillia saw her dressed up as Death, but that could be either like she's the literal personification, or it could be like a
Like a
metaphor,
smokescreen.
or she could be someone's actual like death. Like she could actually kill one of them. Like she could be Agatha's death. Like she's there to kill Agatha.
She did say before that she has a job that she's forced to do.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes that job breaks her heart or something along those lines.
Yeah.
The Grim Reaper.
She's somebody's Grim Reaper.
I think she is literally the character of Mistress Death now.
Okay.
Now in the MCU.
Okay.
Which is a character they haven't done yet. So I'm interested to see, which is funny because typically Mistress Death is tied to Thanos. Like the reason why Thanos kills as much as he does is to please her. And I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people that's like looking at comic Thanos and it's just like, oh, you see Aubrey Plaza, I get it. The only thing about it is that now they have to explain her relation to the Coven, since the Coven summoned them, or summoned her, and she appeared or whatever.
I mean, she also said she was the original Green Witch.
Yeah, that's what she said too.
But they summoned Rio as the replacement for the Green Witch in their Coven that died in Mrs. Hart. So now that she's been summoned for the purpose of being on the Witch's Road for the Coven, I'd like to see how they explain like what her relationship with this Coven is gonna be. Like if she shows up and is just like, well, I have a duty to do, so y'all are shocked.
Yeah.
Or if it's like she still has to perform her thing on the Witch's Road because she hasn't had one yet. Yeah, like where does it balance out? Which isn't really a plot hole. It's just like it's a question. Because I want to know. Doesn't matter if you don't.
Is what he would like to know.
Yes.
I think it's
this is for my experience.
His
Peon.
Worthless peon. I had being Decatur and deplorable.
My biggest issue with this episode is that line where she said that time is not
time
linear.
is an illusion.
Time
most people don't see. Yeah, no.
I guess for
so
her,
fundamentally wrong.
I guess for her, time would be an illusion. Yeah.
if she could tap into the fourth dimension and jump through time, which is possible to jump through time, but the current accepted theory is that you can only jump as far back as when the first time machine was created. Now, if the witch's brain can be a time machine, okay, so she could jump all throughout her entire life.
Yeah, so I guess that's why she said it, because she can do jump points through specific times of her life. She's not able to control it where she goes, but
But that doesn't mean that
time is
an illusion or that it's not linear for us beings who live in the third dimension.
Yeah, because even for her, even as she was jumping through time, she kept going back to that point to help them and to piece all together all the clues in order for them to move on from the trial. So she was jumping through all those different plot points in her life for a reason. Yeah. And that's why she was putting all those pieces together and put those specific tarot cards down. So, yeah, that's a good point, Blackfire. Thank you.
Science.
All right.
Bring science to our witchcraft.
Science to our witchcraft. Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. From their heart and from their hand, why don't people understand my intentions?
All right, so I guess this is a good wrap up for episode 7. Let us know in the comments once this video is up how you guys felt about episode 7.
Yeah.
Did she say her piece?
I agree with everybody. Right or wrong, I agree. I'm here for
all across the board.
No, but this is my favorite episode.
Yeah, it was enjoyable to you.
Yeah, like I don't know.
It was written well.
Yeah, I really liked it. Like, out of all the trials that all the witches went through, like, hers was the most, like, oh, freak. Yeah. What's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
I think that's literally what I had been ranting about while you were upstairs.
Got you?
Yeah.
And how it was the most related to her and her power.
Yeah.
And her ability.
Like, really,
and her as a character.
Yeah. I felt like she was...
It was
the most well-rounded out of all of them.
This was literally who she was.
Yeah.
Whereas Alice's was more about closure. Jen's was confidence, I guess.
She had to reclaim something back.
I guess because all her products were basically fake, and she's an actual witch. Like,
well, that's because she was bound. Yeah, like she was faking it as if, like, you know, she was pretending to be someone that she used to be or whatever. Alice got closure from figuring out what happened with her mom.
Or that she died.
Yeah. Or like why or what happened.
And we also know that she wasn't supposed to save Agatha.
Yeah. Wait, that she was or was not?
No, she wasn't.
She was not supposed to.
Yep.
I hope they find some weird loophole or reason to bring all the characters back. Just because I
don't think they should.
I've slowly started to enjoy the characters and appreciate all of them one by one, episode by episode.
I gotcha.
So
attached to them a little bit more.
I don't want them to do it because I think that the idea of the deaths makes it more impactful. But since I have to play devil's advocate or else I'm ruining somebody else's fun.
No, you enjoy your fun.
Back to it.
Here's how they can write this out. Rio is death.
Yeah.
So they work something out with her, and then everybody they get their coming back.
Yeah.
And then we get Sharon.
See, well, they don't even have to do anything with the characters, right? Just having that happy ending would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
It does sound nice.
It does sound nice.
And I like happy endings.
Yeah.
But it's Halloween, brother.
And it's
like
Agatha All Along. And it's Marvel, you know.
Yeah.
They said there was too many people in this tower. Somebody has to go.
Somebody gotta go.
Somebody gotta
go. Somebody had to go.
So somebody had to go.
So I flipped the castle upside down, and everyone landed on swords.
Everyone landed on swords.
That's a pretty powerful trick to be able to flip gravity like that.
Yep. Upside down.
Some might say that she's defying gravity.
What was the point of the costumes though? Just for the castle? Just because it's Disney? Like
just to mess with Trey's day.
Because each trial had a theme, and this one had
a decades theme.
Yep.
Going on before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had a decades theme.
And
and then
unless all these movies come out in the, where do we start? The 60s?
60s.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to the 70s.
Then the
80s. And then this should have been the 90s?
Yeah, instead of the 90s, that they did a whole bunch of Disney costumes.
Yep.
I'm okay with it, just because. I mean, I am. They were all different witches.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that Agatha was the Wicked Witch of the West.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad they didn't have any water.
That's crazy. Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what was. I was just wanting to know what the point of this theme was. That's all. Because the other ones made sense, you know, if they were really into the decades. But I don't know. Maybe it'll make more sense with the other two trials.
With the tarot cards, maybe.
I don't think that. No.
They only have one left.
Yeah.
They have the Green Witch's trial.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You know what? They have a Green Witch's trial, which could be filled by Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they could give Billy a trial, and then the last trial could be dealing with death or whatever.
Yeah, it could be.
Sure.
That could work.
Yeah, sure.
That could work. Okay, well.
So, like I said during the reaction, there was the theory that Billy was supposed to be the last member of the Coven.
Mm-hmm.
All I need to know is how they summoned the Witch's Road without Billy in the room.
Right, because he was upstairs screaming his head off. Well, not screaming his head off, but like in panic because of the Salem 7.
If he just needed to be nearby, cool. But he was not singing no song.
No, he wasn't.
Nothing.
What if everybody dies, including Agatha, and then Billy is going to have to live with the guilt of his coven dying the way Agatha did?
I would not.
I don't think he would have any guilt. I mean, he would be sad that some of them died, but I don't think he would view it as his fault, you know?
Well,
because,
you know what?
Because Agatha really put
devil's advocate.
Yeah.
That would be the motivation for him to become the superhero Wiccan.
Yeah.
There you go. Now me, I would say I particularly don't care because we barely get Agatha in this show.
Yeah.
She really, as much as I talk crap about like the rest of the characters not getting enough shine, Agatha barely on the edge of being relevant in this show.
Yeah, she's her shine point in this is dimming a little bit.
Oh, it fizzled.
You know, even though we're getting more of some of the other characters as far as like the attention brought to her and more about her in the Witch's Road is not really revealing itself. So maybe episodes 8 and 9 will do that. As far as like they'll detail what happened to her first coven, because we don't really get any pieces of what happens to her first coven in the first couple episodes, except for the fact that Agatha was the only one who walked away. You know, that was the only thing. So I hope that we get a little bit more information.
Yeah, tell us about Nicholas Scratch.
Mm-hmm. Where your son at, Agatha?
Where your son at?
Where your son at?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way they implied it, Rio took him to Rio's death, and that child is dead.
Yep. Cool.
As far as I'm concerned, if he ain't dead, he got a face where he wish he was dead.
Or she did something, gave him to somebody.
She gave him to her. Because
no, I mean Rio gave the child to somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like either her son is dead, or he's got like a fate where you would have wished he was dead.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Rio. What if because Billy doesn't actually have a soul, maybe it makes him untouchable to Rio?
Sure.
It's just a random thought. I have no idea what the connection is, but it popped in my head.
Now, here's a question to ask. Because Rio is death, when she told Agatha that Billy wasn't her son and confirmed it, was that also a double meaning where she would have known who Billy was?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think she knows who Billy is.
Yeah.
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 And so my question, because we also, like, further going down, since we also know that she's got, like, love for Agatha. Now, earlier I was saying, okay, well, the soul or moving or whatever don't really make sense. Because it doing itself on its own when Billy wouldn't even know how to do that is a leap in logic. I don't care how y'all look at it. But what if she was the one that got involved so that they would be able to use it later?
She being Rio?
Yeah. Because of what happened to Agatha at the end of WandaVision. Like, she set a plan in motion.
That could.
I like that.
That could be it.
Yeah, that could be it.
Maybe we'll find out.
Yeah. Could be Rio all along.
It could be Rio all along.
Could have been Rio all along.
Slap that on the...
These are just questions, though.
Yep.
You're allowed to theorize. You're allowed to point out stuff. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm interested in knowing everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
It was fun reading the comments.
Yes.
It was fun.
You're allowed to make your opinions.
Yes.
And
don't suggest that I'm not allowed to give mine.
Right. Exactly.
Like I said earlier, you're just a man with a mouse and a microphone.
Damn. That look. That intense look.
Always remember the yellow brick road.
Follow, 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 follow,
With a